Hey beautiful people, welcome to the Movies Recap. Today, you are going to watch 2020 science fiction thriller movie The Host. Spoilers ahead. Grab your snacks and watch out. In the beginning of the movie, we see the future era. We are informed that the planet Earth is being invaded, and many of the humans here do not realize it. A species of parasitic alien named souls have arrived. They have a weird but beautiful light in them. They have already taken over all the world and have penetrated in human bodies. They can be identified by a strange light ring glistening in the eyes of people infected by it. Humans are unaware of it and have lost almost all the control over their bodies while these soul seekers continue to occupy the planet. Then, we see a girl, Melanie, who has somehow managed to protect herself from the parasites. But soul seekers are finding her out to turn her into one of them. While running away, she somehow skips through the window but unfortunately falls down. Soul seekers lift her up and take her to their headquarters. Melanie sustained many injuries due to the fall, but she is alive. The aliens give her some special medicine that immediately heals her all of her wounds. Then they plant soul in her body. Now her body is under the control of a soul. After the process, they ask Melanie her name, and she identifies herself as her new name, Wanderer. After this, we see Wanderer getting out of her bed. She goes to see her new face in the mirror. Right then she hears Melanie screaming inside of her body. Melanie tells her that this body belongs to her, while Wanderer says that it belongs to her. Seeker's head tells Wanderer that they have almost gotten control over all the human beings and have made this world better. But there still are some who don't want to be seekers, and Melanie was one of them. This is why there is a conflict between Melanie's memory and Wanderer. Then Wanderer tries to read Melanie's memory and tells Seeker that her family had escaped hometown. However, her father was abducted by Seekers, and to avoid being a Seeker, he killed himself. Melanie had run away from there along with her brother. Melanie from inside pleads Wanderer to not to disclose her brother's name, but she does. This infuriates Melanie. Wanderer keeps reading Melanie's memory and also get to know about her boyfriend Jared. Wanderer draws Jared's sketch and shows it to the Seeker, while Melanie constantly pleads her not to do so. Wanderer tells that Melanie and Jared were in love. They both along with her brother had planned to escape from Seekers. They were in a hotel from where they had to travel to somewhere, but Melanie got caught there. This constant conflict between Melanie and Wanderer creates a bond between them. When Wanderer tries to sketch the destination where Melanie and her boys had decided to go, she is overwhelmed by Melanie. She tears away the paper. Next week, we see Seeker trying again to convince Wanderer to tell them about whereabouts of Jared and Melanie's brother. But Wanderer again gets influenced by Melanie's voice inside her and refuses to share information. Wanderer says that she feels mercy for human beings. Seeker tells her that they will find Jared anyway. This makes Wanderer angry. She grabs Seeker by neck, but Seeker makes her unconscious. Wanderer later apologizes to Seeker. Seeker suggests a surgery with a reimplant to get rid of her of Melanie for good. But for some reason, Wanderer does not want to do this. She has some strange emotional connection with Melanie. Instead, at the night she escapes, takes a car from another soul human and heads to her grandfather's home. On the way, she meets an accident, so now she has to go to the destination on foot. On the other hand, we see Seeker gets torn paper that gives her clue to the location. We see Wanderer walking through the desert. She wants to get her destination, but due to exhaustion, she falls unconscious. But there, her uncle finds her. He tries to wake her up. When she opens her eyes, seeing the light ring in them, her uncle realizes that she is under control of the alien parasites. Other people gathered. They want to kill her because they believe she must be a spy sent by the Seekers. They are afraid that they will be caught and made into Seekers as well. But her uncle Jeb stops them. He blindfolds Wanderer and takes her along. all the humans are hiding in the mountains in desert. They take Vandra to a house. Her blindfold is removed. She sees a lot of humans there, and among them, she sees Jared. Vandra goes towards Jared, but he slaps her away because to him, Melanie has died, and Vandra is no one but just a seeker. She also sees her younger brother there. Jared picks her up and lays her down. Many seekers are searching for Vandra. They managed to get to the car but couldn't get where they further went to. Meanwhile, we see Vandra wakes up and sees Jared on a vigil beside her. Melanie inside her tells her that Jared doesn't know that she is alive inside Vandra, and she cannot even tell him as he would never believe. Then some boys come to attack Vandra. Jared comes in between to save her. They have a quarrel, but Uncle intervenes and warns the boy that they should not dare to do this again. Seekers are actively looking for humans. They had asked to send in helicopters so that they can search the whole area. Jared and 2 humans with him are keeping an eye on all this. On the other hand, we see Vandra talking with Melanie's brother Jamie. She tells him how Melanie tried to distract seekers to save him. Their uncle is eavesdropping this whole conversation. She tells Jamie that she has come from a different planet but does not intend to harm human beings. Jared comes there and wants Jamie to stay away from her as she is not Melanie. Uncle takes Vandra to a place inside where waterfalls are flowing. He also shows her they are growing wheat. Jared with his 3 fellows ride into 2 trucks and go to take some stuff. Seeker is looking for Vandra in a helicopter. While Uncle is talking to Vandra, they hear the helicopter flying by. They cover their shelters for protection. Seekers fail to find anything and leave. Jamie takes Vandra, named Vanda now, with him to show her fireflies and ask her if Melanie is alive inside her. Vanda tells him that yes, she was alive inside her. This makes Jamie very happy and he lovingly hugs her. Then we see Jared and his fellows stealing some stuff from a store. They are encountered by a seeker there. Jared hits him unconscious and takes him along with them. Meanwhile, we see all the humans and Vanda harvesting wheat. A boy starts taking interest in Vanda and offers her beer. They again hear helicopters flying by, so they camouflage their area to hide again. Jared's fellows are surrounded by seekers. They attack each other with bullets. But the boys run off bullets and are killed. The seekers also suspect that the other truck driven by Jared. They start chasing, but Jared and his friend manage to escape. When Jared comes back, he's very angry and he wants to kill Vanda. But everyone stops him. He tells them that 2 of his fellows have been killed because of her. Then we see that boy who offered Vanda a beer has fallen in love with her. She also has feelings for him, but she cannot express them because of Melanie and Jared. Jared wants to know that whether Melanie is alive in Vanda or not. To confirm this, he steps forward and kisses Vanda out of blue. This infuriates Melanie and she slaps Jared. Jared now knows that Melanie is actually inside the Vanda because she couldn't stand Jared kissing anyone else. Vanda and the other boys spend more time together and become somewhat close to each other. Vanda goes in a hospital lab. She is surrounded by mutilated bodies and pieces of the parasites. She is so frightened. She discovers that the humans are trying to find a way to remove the parasites from host but have been unsuccessful. This is causing both humans and souls to die. This makes Vanda scared and disappointed. Uncle convinces Vanda that they were only trying to remove souls from the host and promises her that they won't capture more souls and wouldn't hurt anyone. Jamie gets a leg injury and contracts a severe infection. Vanda wants to save his life. She goes on a mission with Jared to retrieve more advanced medicine from the alien hospital. She comes back successfully and heals Jamie. But a seeker's head somehow follows them to there and kills a warden. Jared and Vanda come to see this, and they are taken hostage on the gunpoint. But thankfully, Uncle steps in and kills the seeker. Vanda, with medicine, heals the seeker's head. She asks her the secret heal. Vanda comes to the lab and tells Doctor that she knows the way with all the hosts can be turned back to humans, but she has 2 conditions. Firstly, no human or seeker should be hurt in this process. Secondly, Doctor will let Vanda die. This makes both Doctor and Melanie worried, but they are helpless. First of all, Vanda takes out soul from the Seeker's head and puts it safely in the case. Seeker heads turn into a human body immediately. Vanda sends the soul safely back to the space, just the way the soul had come to this planet. Vanda tells everyone that she would also go back, but she actually had a plan to kill herself. This makes everyone sad. Nobody wants Vanda to go back, especially the boy who loves her, but she thinks she's obliged to free Melanie's body. Vanda lies down and closes her eyes to die. But when her eyes open again, she sees Melanie in front of her. Melanie tells her that they have replanted Vanda into another body. This makes them all so happy, especially their boyfriends. They all start living happily. Once, while wandering around, they are stopped by passers-by. They think that they are seekers, but later come to know that they all are humans and they just have a host friend with them, just like Melanie and her fellows have. Then Vanda, Melanie and their friends realize that they are not the only example of human and soul friendship. The movie ends on this note. I hope you enjoyed this movie. If you did, please shower your love by liking and subscribing to our channel. See you again next time. Thank you for watching.